What's up, guys? It's the Ginger.
And the Bear coming at you.
I am confused. I'm so damn confused why Masvidal versus Usman is the fight that's being made. Because I think Usman's going to smash Masvidal harder than I need you guys to smash the like button for daily MMA videos.
For the algorithm and all that bullshit.
And talking about bullshit, I just don't understand the logic behind making this fight when I think that the outcome, it's pretty predictable, which is that Usman, who is one of the most dominant, active, not chinny wrestlers in the division, who sets up his takedowns really, really well, is gonna, crotch sniff aggressively Masvidal, right?
I mean, I think there's always a shot for Masvidal to get his shot, but in order for that to happen, a lot of things have got to go wrong, and he's got to be perfect.
Yeah.
And I don't think Masvidal has been shown to be a perfect fighter, and his record shows that, and how he fights shows that.
Especially, like, even when he won against Till, he was getting pieced up until he won against Till. And I think that it's such a waste of a fighter who has a lot of hype behind him, and who arguably doesn't actually deserve the title shot in the division.
I think there was an interview that Colby Covington did, and he was talking about that it was the first time my whole entire life that I agreed with the Chaos Covington, but to be honest, I think he was right. I don't think Masvidal deserves the title. He's a journeyman that has hype behind him, right? But he's overhyped, in my opinion. I think he has a lot of money-making potential, so why throw that fun fight away with Conor McGregor versus him, which I could see going to either guys.
Yeah.
I think it would go to Conor, but I could see Masvidal having a good shot at that fight.
Tons of a path to victory. Or Masvidal versus somebody for the 165 belt, because he's someone who'd be perfect for that division. And it just makes no sense, because Masvidal's best aspect is his marketability. Why would you want to potentially risk killing off his marketability when there are other really good, really fun fights that you can give him that aren't, even the Nate Diaz rematch. Like, you can still sell that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are like, oh, it only stopped because of cut. We were robbed of a fourth or fifth round.
Or at least do a Nick Diaz fight.
Oh, yeah, or a Nick Diaz fight. That's a huge fight right away. It's got a great narrative behind it.
But as soon as Masvidal gets, like, fucked by Usman,
his hype's gone. Over. Like, there's going to be no casual interest in a fighter who gets screwed. Like, it's not even going to probably be like Conor Khabib, where there's like one round, you know? Where people can be like, oh, well, at least he got a round or something.
Well, there's something very different from the hype that Conor had. Was it overhype? I disagree. I think Conor is a legit fighter, right?
Yeah.
And I think Masvidal is a legit fighter. But Conor had that double champ. He was knocking everybody out. He also had beaten
a lot of top 5 fighters.
Exactly.
And that's the problem with Masvidal. Masvidal's hype and what the victories he actually has don't line up. Because he's hyped like he's been running through top 5 guys, and he's been beating...
And he beat 2 guys that were good.
He beat Askren.
And Till. I think Till's good.
Till's good. Till's good, but I also... Like, it's hard... And the Askren and Till wins were both somewhat fluky in that he was able to, like, set up the shot, hit it, but you didn't see him win the whole...
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
I disagree with that.
In the Till fight, he was losing until he hit Till with the leaping hook.
Yeah, but then you can make that argument for Conor McGregor.
No,
right?
but there's almost no fights that Conor came from behind and won like that, is what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, you can make that about the Jose Aldo, but he was practicing that, right?
Oh, no, all I'm saying with Masvidal is there's not one performance against that we would say, like, are good fighters where he's won the whole fight. Like, against Maia and Thompson,
sure,
he lost the whole fight. Against Till, he lost the fight until he had a moment of brilliance, and then he built off of that and did really, really well.
But I'm willing to hold my disbelief that he's just a fighter that needs to get a hit a couple of times, and then he's able to work his game plan and then execute on a KO. That may be what he's turned into, but I need to see a Leon Edwards fight. I need to see some top competitors.
Even Leon Edwards would be a more fun fight, I think. I think there's good hype behind that. The 3-piece in a soda. Like, I just think Masvidal hasn't... I don't think Till, Askren, Diaz does enough to warrant a title shot when you have other guys in the division who I think are more... Like, I think Leon deserves a title shot more than Masvidal does at this point. And it's such a waste.
Well, okay,
it's a waste.
Yeah. No, I agree that it's waste. I do think that if anybody besides Colby deserves a title shot, it's going to be Masvidal. I just don't think that now is the right time for him to make a title shot.
Because he's in a really weird spot. There's not really a lot of guys who have gotten this kind of hype behind them when they're not beating the names, right?
Yep.
Like, even McGregor, a lot of people say he was overhyped, but he fought like a top 15, a top 10, a top 5, Chad Mendez, and now we're going to go against Aldo, right?
fought Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier, and all that, those were all killers.
Well,
Masvidal,
Holloway wasn't considered one at the time.
but it has that aged like a fine
But I'm
wine.
just saying, like, at the time, right?
Sure.
Holloway wasn't considered that good of a win. They're like, oh, he's a promising up-and-coming kid, whatever. Poirier was considered like a good win, and then Mendez, and then Aldo, right?
Yeah.
Like, Masvidal has such hype around him, and he deserves it. Like, the Askren KO was phenomenal, right? And he's a cool dude, but he doesn't have any true top 5 victories.
Well, what was Till rank?
Not top 5, I don't think.
Till was definitely top 5.
It's so hard. We can't look up the rankings from back then.
I mean, he was. So Till had just lost against Woodley.
But I mean, okay, let's say true top 5. Like, I think the top 5 guys now deserve to be there. Like Colby, Leon, Woodley.
I'm going to disagree with that.
You know, I don't think Till deserved it.
Till deserved.
No, he did. He won a split decision against Stephen Thompson, and most people scored it for Thompson.
I still think he's a good enough fighter to be considered in the top 5. That's just me, though. That's just me.
I really, really like Till. I really like Till a lot.
And I'm glad that he's found his... But we're not talking about fucking Till.
I just think I think that Masvidal should get one more big money fight in and then go for a title.
I agree.
For his sake, too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even talking as a fan. I'm talking, like, for Masvidal's bank account's sake. I think if he gets one more big fight, Nate Diaz, Nick Diaz, even Leon Edwards would be a bigger fight, I think. Because there's not... They're trying to hype it with him and Usman, but I feel like there's not... Even him and Colby have a better narrative and back and forth, honestly. So, for his sake, I wish Masvidal would get one of these money fights that we mentioned, which are a much less of a threat to him as a draw. Because even if he were to lose a fight against Conor McGregor, it would be a striking exchange, and I guarantee Masvidal would look better in a striking fight, even if he got knocked out in 10 seconds, because then you can say, like, oh, it was a fluke KO, whatever.
So if Usman's not going to fight Masvidal, which I personally think that would be the most likely scenario.
I think that's happening, and that's why I'm annoyed. It's happening.
But who would you choose instead?
For Usman, I think that he should get the winner of Woodley Edwards. Or honestly, I'd be fine with Edwards and Usman right now. I don't want to see a rematch between him and Colby immediately. I hate immediate rematches. I think Colby should fight somebody else and then get back in there. If he wins, obviously. But I just think for Maz's sake, like, I like Masvidal. I want Masvidal to make as much money as possible. I want the MMA fighters to make as much money as possible. And it's not like he's one of these guys where you're like, oh, Tony Ferguson has to get a title shot. He's on such a win streak against such good guys. You're like, okay, well, Masvidal, you can make an argument for it, but it's not like, oh, he needs a title shot. So give him one more money fight. Let him cash that check. If he wins, his hype will even be bigger than ever. Then, boom, you've got... Then the Usman fight becomes a true blockbuster fight. And, okay, then he gets crotch sniffed, likely, whatever.
And he can still win that fight. And maybe we're all wrong and this is all bullshit, but I don't know.
Usman's really damn good, man.
Really good.
Usman's really good. And he's so... Like, Askren is an amazing technical guy, and he's got athleticism, obviously, because he was an Olympian. You can't just... There's a bar of athleticism you need to get there. But Usman is like a different athlete. He's stronger, more explosive. He's faster.
Younger. He's had almost all the fundamentals down.
And I just don't think... Masvidal is going to be able to time him the same way. And the other intangible we haven't talked about is his chin looked damn good against Colby.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Colby's not like a power punching machine, but
he was walking through this. It was like dunk, nothing, right? Like little BB guns against the tank.
Yeah.
And it's just so frustrating. It's such a waste. For more than anybody else, I think it's a disservice to Masvidal. And I'm like, UFC, what the fuck is wrong with you? Do you hate money? Like, make the Nick Diaz fight. Diaz wants a fight. Good. That'll get him money. That'll get Masvidal money. Then Diaz can go party in Vegas for another 6 years.
But if you guys disagree, please let us know. Smash the like button, dislike button, whatever. Tell us that we're idiots. Let us know. Sound off, everybody. All right?
I mean, if Masvidal wins, it will be big. But bye!